This is LOA Recon with Good Vibe Coach Jeanette Ma, where we explore the ins and outs of conscious creation to manifest our favorite dreams come true. Let's have some fun together. Welcome and thank you for joining me for another episode. I've had a variety of questions in my inbox lately on the topic of positive thinking and what to do or what it means when it's not working or isn't helping. So I thought it would be worth doing a quick podcast episode on it. However, I would love to hear your comments on this. There are a variety of ways to answer these questions that are showing up in my inbox, so I'd love to hear from you on it as well. Okay, there were quite a few saying things like, "My life is a mess and there is nothing to be positive about." Okay, so to anyone who feels like there's nothing good in their life that they can appreciate or feel grateful for, I would suggest the first place to start is feeling your feelings. And I know some people will say, well, look again, there is always something to be grateful for. Yeah, there is, but I get it. When we can't see it, we can't see it. And it's probably because some other feeling is in the way. So trying to conjure positivity while other emotions are present, that's a difficult ask. Also, it might be helpful to think of our aim not so much as feeling positive as much as it is just feel better. You don't have to think positive. Just think anything that offers you some sort of relief. Because, sometimes we got to get mad before we can feel thankful. It's the journey up Abraham's emotional scale. Okay, some of the other questions said things like, I am a super positive person, but it is not translating into positive manifestations in my life. To that person, I would say, look again, either you're not as positive as you think you are, or your manifestations aren't as negative as you are concluding. And it might be some of both, probably some of both. Because the universe doesn't mismatch us vibrationally, and the law of attraction does not fail. So it may be there's a glitch in your vibe that you haven't spotted, or else there are good manifestations that you're missing. Most of us have a mix of vibrations and we get a mix of manifestations. That's totally normal. And in that case, our opportunity is simply find ways to feel better wherever or however we can. Oh, I got another question that said, it doesn't feel authentic to stay positive in the face of certain things that are happening. Oh boy, I get it. Feeling our feelings is an important part of successful vibration management. And I personally believe we came here for the full range of human emotions and that there's nothing wrong with feeling whatever we feel, even when that's not pretty. I also believe the more emotional range we give ourselves as conscious creators, the more we allow those feelings, whatever they are, the easier it is for us to return to our natural state of enjoyment. Believe it or not, that is our natural state. The reason that's so is because allowing is more helpful than resisting, even when it comes to, or maybe even especially when it comes to emotions. So letting ourselves feel whatever we feel is the way to feeling better. So for anyone who says it does not feel authentic to stay positive, I would say, feel however you feel. Yeah, there is nothing wrong with that. That actually leads to feeling better. As long as we don't continue entertaining stories that keep us stuck in a negative mindset. I will add that caveat. Okay, I had other questions saying, oh, yeah, 2 people this happened to. I think it's hilarious. They said, the thing that I want happened after I gave up trying to be positive about it. Oh, look, I think the key there is gave up trying. Gave up trying. It's not that giving up being positive was the factor. It was giving up trying. I think that was likely the vibrational upgrade that allows those manifestations. I've had that happen before too. And I do know trying is not as conducive to our good vibrations as allowing. There's just something about saying yes to what is, whatever that is, that can offer big manifesting magic. So to anyone who says, once I gave up being positive, the good things happened, I would say that magic was in giving up, i.e. feeling better. Woohoo! Feeling better for the win again. Okay, and then there were actually several questions on this one. I'm good at being positive in every area of my life except for one. Well then, your work is clear. Look, I know sometimes the positivity from other things can spill over into this other area that we're not loving so much. So just focusing more on what's going right in your world can resolve it. It can. I'm not saying it will every time. So if that's not already happening for you, and if it's an area that you'd like to change, you're going to want to expand your positive expertise into that subject. Practice is helpful here. I would suggest starting small, don't make it a big deal, and also stop telling the "I've got one exception" story. That story doesn't help us change anything. Okay, then we had another question from someone, and I have received this question before. Okay, so they said they tried they tried thinking positive, but it siphoned off all her motivation to create change. All right. What's the problem here? Okay, I didn't get enough detail to know, is there actually a problem here? Because if you were being positive, what inspirations did you get then? Were you enjoying yourself? Like, wasn't that winner, winner, chicken dinner? That seems like that's what we were shooting for, right? I don't know. If being positive led to greater life enjoyment, I'd say you nailed it, and congratulations. Maybe you didn't need motivation to change something else if you found your way to feeling good or feeling better. Okay, and then there's another question asking for my opinion on the research that says positive thinking isn't helpful. I'm going to preface my answer here by saying I used to work in research. Plus, I'm a conscious creator, so I know in multiple ways that we get what we look for. That's one reason why I'm so good at taking research results with a grain of salt. It's easy to find conflicting research. My practice is to listen to what resonates with me, with my inner being, not with my gremlins, but with my wise inner true self. And I would suggest you do the same, because maybe your guidance is pointing you in a direction that will serve you better. Listen to that guidance. Your inner wisdom is worth listening to above mine and above any research results. And yes, sometimes our inner guidance points us to research as a way of getting our attention. So again, I would just say, listen to whatever feels true for you, whatever your higher self thinks about it. And I'd love to hear others' comments on that as well. If you've got questions about the role of positive thinking in conscious creation, post them in the comments. We'll answer them there. And I would also love to hear your answers to some of these questions that have come in. Thanks for listening, everyone, and happy manifesting.